If I don't buy a home right now, will I ever be able to get a home? Why are house prices going so crazy right now? In this video, it's time we discuss these questions and more.
Financial abundance, budget, business, investing.
Welcome back to Financial Abundance. I'm Peyton Fisher, and on this channel, we talk all things budget, business, and investing. If you're into that kind of thing, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, and let's go. Right now, the U.S. market is going crazy. According to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, in 2020, new home sales are up 19.3% from 2019. This is the strongest growth since 2006. And existing homes are up 23.7% from last year. And it's likely that we will actually slow down because of the house price growth is literally making it unaffordable to buy a house. And the only reason that it's lasted this long is because the government has lowered the interest rates. Year over year, gains are ranging from 10 to 11% across the nation. I personally think the markets are up between 20 and 30%. And in certain hot pockets, even more than that. The inventory of houses for sale is down to a record of a low of only 1.9 months supply. To put that into perspective, if no other homes went on the market right now, slightly less than 2 months, we would not have one home left for sale on the entire American market. Now, a normal market is 6 months of inventory. So this leads me back to my original questions. If I don't buy a house right now, will I ever be able to get a home? The answer is a resounding yes. Just because everyone else is buying a home doesn't mean you need to buy one right now. Here are some of the downfalls of being able to purchase a home right now when you can afford more. Your PMI, or property mortgage insurance, is on average between 0.5% and 1% of your home's value. This means if your home is worth $300,000, you'll have to pay $3,000 a year or $250 a month for property mortgage insurance until your house is paid down to 80% of the value. Now, this money you pay on property mortgage insurance is not returnable. It's not refundable. You never get this back. So it is literally like you are throwing money away and you will not get it back. Let's look at what happens to your buying power as interest fluctuates. When we jump over to Bankrate's calculator on how much money we can afford making $80,000 a year, it's really incredible to see what happens. Now, at 2.5% interest, making $80,000 a year, all things considered, you can get pre-approved for about $337,000 a year. Now that's roughly your mortgage payment's going to be about $1,867 a month. That's for everything, taxes, PMI, your insurance, and your interest rate at 2.5%. Let's look what would happen if your interest rate bumped from 2.5% up to 3.5%. It's the same information, $80,000, but what has jumped down is how much money you can actually afford is only $308,000. And the crazy part is your monthly payment is only $50 more with 1% more in interest. However, look how much less you can afford. So at that 1% interest, you lose almost 10% of your buying power. That's all the way from $337,000 all the way down to $308,000. That's massive. So let's do one more example. Let's go all the way up to 4.5%. As you can see, it's the same $80,000, but you're only going to be pre-approved for $283,000. That's a difference from going $337,000 to $283,000. Now, if our interest rates go up to 4.5%, this will completely change the market because buyers will not be able to afford a more expensive home. I would argue right now that you're going to be overpaying for your home between 10, 20, or 30% if you buy right now, which is just completely outrageous. Now, as long as interest rates are low, buyers are going to be able to extend themselves all the way. And first-time home buyers typically buy on emotion, which will typically make them push as high as they can on their pre-approval. And they'll do whatever they can to get a home. They'll borrow money from friends and family. Now, in a healthy market, the interest rates are going to fluctuate. They're going to have ebbs and flows on buying and selling, driving prices up a little bit, down a little bit, with a steady increase year over year. With the government artificially lowering the interest rates, it's completely unpredictable what will happen. Typically in a market, you're able to show a home without having to cross paths with other agents, with other buyers, and giving your buyers the feeling that if they like a home, they can make an offer on it. And if they don't, it's okay, they'll be able to find another home. Well, that's not what's going on, because right now, in my personal market, when a home comes on the market for under $450,000, there's typically 5 to 10 showings on the first day. And what they're doing is they're stacking showings on top of each other. So what that means is they'll tell somebody to come at 1 o'clock, they'll tell the next person to come at 1:15, they'll tell the next person to come at 1:30, the next person to come at 1:45. And what that does is typically you can't get through a house in 15 minutes. So the buyers that are already in the house see the next people waiting thinking, oh shoot, what if these people make an offer? And then the next people show up and they're thinking, well, what if those guys make an offer? And what if these guys make an offer? And then it just becomes this great big thing. And then everybody's like, oh my gosh, I just want to buy this house. I need to buy this house because someone else is going to buy this house if I don't buy this house. Oh my gosh. So everybody wants to just make an offer on a home that they might not even really like because they're afraid that if they don't buy this house, they won't get to buy the next house, or there won't even be a next house. And so here is literally 2 examples of clients that I've been working with. So we had a house that came on the market for $325,000. The home was built in 1994 with the original kitchen still in there, original floors, practically no landscaping. My clients loved the house though. The area was super cute, they were right next to a school, and it was really nice. So we decided to offer $340,000 with an escalation clause of $345,000. Now the agent called me back and politely told me that he had offers for over $360,000 with no contingencies, with the earnest money getting released to the sellers immediately. So remember guys, this house was listed for $325,000. It needed new flooring, it needed a new kitchen, it needed new landscaping, new painting, pretty much new everything on the inside. And people are offering $360,000 with no appraisal contingency, releasing their earnest money, and quick closings. Our last home that we just made an offer on was a townhome that was listed at $259,000. Well, my clients really wanted to be aggressive on this, so we offered $270,500 with an escalation clause all the way up to $275,500. The home had been listed on the market for 5 hours. I called the agent. I scheduled a showing. She told me there was already 6 showings on the house that evening. So we went to the house, we showed them, they loved it, they wanted to make an offer. $270,500 with an escalation clause to $275,000. You have to remember the most recent comparable sold for $230,000 within the last 3 months. And we're bidding out $275,000. 230, 40, 50, 60, 70. That's $45,000 more than the last house that just sold that's almost the exact same house. Less than a stone's throw away. I fully understand that if interest rates are low, you can get approved for a bigger, newer, nicer home. However, if the younger generation is burdening themselves with debt $30,000 to $50,000 to $80,000 over what they should be paying, they're going to literally have to ride this wave for the next 7 to 10 years if our economy takes a dip. Now, does anyone remember 2008, or am I here alone? Now, remember, I'm not a financial planner. I'm not a money specialist. I'm just a real estate agent who is trying to look out for the best interests of my clients. And my opinion would be this: in this market, I would tell my clients, unless it is absolutely necessary to buy super high right now, just to save every penny that you absolutely can. And if you can afford a $350,000 house right now, that's just shy of a $2,000 a month payment. And let's say your rent is $1,000 a month, In the next 12 months, you can save just from not having that mortgage is another $12,000. And if you were really, really frugal, you should be able to double or triple that savings in the next 24 months, totaling $36,000 in extra cash in just 12 months. Now, at this price, we're going to be getting closer to the territory where you can put 20% down on a home if you include this with your original down payment that you were going to be doing. And then you won't have to pay PMI or property mortgage insurance, saving you 1% per year and potentially saving you $250 a month. Now we're starting to talk. I want to be clear. I never pressure my clients into purchasing a home or not purchasing a home. I only want to inform them as much as possible. Ultimately, it's their decision. And if they want to buy a home right now, I would love to represent them. I would love to work with them and get them the absolute best deal possible. Does anyone really know what's going to happen with the market? Absolutely not. You cannot predict anything, especially with the government being able to affect the interest rates. Or right now pumping $2 trillion of debt into the economy in the next little while. If you're struggling with your budgeting, go watch that video. See you on the next video.